A 12 volt setup is essential for full driving and camping these days. So in today's video, we're gonna be throwing one in the back of the 100 series, putting a drawer next to it and kitting it out, ready for our first trip that's coming up very soon. So let's get into it. I've been lucky enough that Anaconda have sent me out their new range of 12 volt stuff. They've done this because they want it all tested out. So they want it tested out to make sure it's all good for you guys to buy. I think they've been out for a little bit now, but this is the fridge. It's a 30-litre fridge. It's pretty good. See, similar to the XTM one that I had in the 105 series. So basically the idea is to make this pretty similar to what that was. So yeah, then this time I'm gonna have an inverter, which is sick, a battery monitor, and basically the same battery, a 200 amp hour lithium. So what I'm gonna do is gonna go put this straight on charge because they don't come fully charged from factory because they just sit on the shelves. So there's no point. But yeah, what we're gonna do is use this wood. So I've got some 17 mil, what's it called? Plywood, whatever it's called. I don't really know what the name is. But we're gonna put that in the back. We're gonna do the base layer first. Then we're gonna do the drawer and the fridge next to each other, and then do a top layer for that. So the only annoying part is this already has a dual battery setup itself. So we're gonna have to be removing that at the same time as putting a new one in, which is a bit annoying, but we'll figure it out and we'll get it done. So I'm just gonna go and start removing the other one first, and I won't show you guys because that's pretty boring. So I'll remove all of that and then I'll get back to you when that is all done. As you can see guys, this is a bunch of the wiring I've pulled out of the Cruiser. I've still got a lot to tidy up, but I'll start getting into the drawer and fridge setup now. So what I've got to do is remove this mat, and if I remember correctly on the 105, I've got to remove all of these for it to be able to fit, and then I'm going to find there's factory bolt holes somewhere for the seats and stuff to go into. So I've got to find them, and then I've got to mark them out and mark out the bit of wood on the floor, and then drill the holes and mount that, because that's what I'm going to be mounting everything to itself. So I'll get into doing that now. All right guys, so I've removed all of them and I've just got the 2 bolts on either side of for the side ones out, because I'm going to use them to mount it. So what I'm going to do is grab one of my pieces of the form ply, and we will get it, we'll slide it up there, and we'll mark out where it needs to be cut around the wheel arch. So basically, I'll put it in here, and I can see at each end where it needs to be cut. All right, so now I'm gonna line up each side evenly across the car. What I'll do is I'll jump in the back seat and I'll mark out each one where it kinda looks like it's gonna hit, and then I can cut that out. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here. Just gonna mark out each side roughly where I think it's gonna hit. So about there on that one, and about there on that one. And then I'm gonna measure out how big these wheel arches actually are. And then what I'll be able to do is measure it to the end and then cut out a little rectangle of where this needs to sit. All right guys, so as you can see, I've got the bit of wood for the floor cut out. I've drilled the 2 holes for those bolts. So now all I gotta do is grab a bit of my carpet. Now, I have an XTM drawer that's going in this, and you may be wondering why I went XTM if Anaconda have sent me all this stuff. And that's the only reason because is the XTM is black. And the other one's like a grey carpet, you can't match the colour. And this is just from Bunnings, it's a black carpet. It's so easy to get. So that's why I got the XTM drawer, because the Anaconda drawer is actually really nice. I went in there and had a look at it. It's actually pretty nice. So I think it's a bit better than the XTM drawer, but it's just the wrong colour. But yeah, so I'll get this carpet out, and all I gotta do is put it over the front lip basically to about here. So then you can't, because you won't see past that. So that's all I gotta do, and then that's mounted, and I can start fitting up the drawer and the fridge. All right, so I now have this panel sitting in there now. I've got 1 bolt in. I had to re-drill that hole because I missed a little bit, but I don't have another bolt in because it's a metric fine thread. So I have to find another one of them later. So now the plan is, as you can see, these fridges mount on the side with little brackets that they come with. So I've got to take all these little things off here so it can sit flat. And then I'm going to put the drawer on this side and the fridge on this side and sit it in there and get them to where I need it to be. And then we can start mounting the battery and all of that. So as you can see guys, this is what it comes with, the power cord, which we will need later. And then these are the brackets that I was talking about. So basically they have different adjustments for how high you want it to sit. So I'll basically be doing the lowest one because I want it to sit flat on the floor. And yeah, I'll work that out with how high the XTM drawer is, but I'll get the XTM drawer out now because maybe I might need to raise it a little bit on each side. So we'll get that out now. All right, so as you can see, I've got the drawer situated in there now. So what I like to do is, if you haven't seen my 105 build, I take the top off like that, and then I'll make one big flat top piece that goes over all of them. So as you can see, they're actually a pretty similar height. So I'm gonna leave these brackets how they should be and put them all the way to the floor for when I screw them in. Then it should sit pretty even across the top of each other for when I put that big panel on. So what I'm gonna do is get these mounted down, measure out equally on either side. Then I'm gonna mount the battery at the back and start running the cables and stuff and do everything while that top is still off, but I'll probably move the fridge out the way just so I have a bit more room to get in there. So I'll get into that. All right, as you can see guys, I have these mounted in here now. So the drawer fridge is mounted. As you can see, it hits the lip a little bit there. So I don't know, I might have to fix that a little bit, but it closes fine still, as you can see. So then the drawer is all mounted in there. So the reason I put this on the bottom is because I can screw everything straight to it, which makes it way easier. And as you can see, the battery fits absolutely perfect in the back here. So as you can see, it fits there. So what I'm gonna do is make up a bit of angle iron. So like angle there and screw it in, and then that should be secured nicely. Then I can start running the wires. So then I gotta run the wires from the battery all the way to the back. So what I usually do is come in through here. I'll open this, take that out, and I'll come in through the bottom there. It's a bit annoying to get to, but I'll get back to you once I run that wire because it's pretty hard for me to film. But yeah, that's starting to come together now, and this fridge is looking awesome. I do like this one better than the XTM one I had in the 105 because the XTM one actually latched down here. So it made it really annoying. So this is a bit hard to open because of that carpet there, which I can cut out, but the XTM one actually latched there. So it was really, really hard to actually close. See, that one still closes fairly simple. So I'll get into running this wire and then I'll get back to you and we can start doing everything else. All right, as you can see, I've got the wire coming up through the grommet at the bottom now, which I'll show you in a second. I had to take all the jack stuff out, which I'll put back in the drawer once it's the drawer's in. But if you come underneath here, there's just two grommets, and there's one that's actually free, has nothing in it. So if you see that one, it's got nothing in it and it literally goes straight up to the top. And this is the grommet for it, which I'll cut out a hole and put back in there with some silicone so nothing can get in there. All right, so now the wiring is in there. I've got to put a fuse on the front and a fuse back here, but I thought I'd whip out the BCDC charger so we can have a look at it. Get it out the packaging. So this is the BCDC charger itself. It's a 40 amp BCDC charger. Oh, that's pretty cool. So usually on the Red Arc ones, there's two wires you have to connect for it to actually read lithium, but this one doesn't look like you have to do that. So it already comes with all the Anderson plugs, which is pretty cool. So this is an ignition feed. I do not need that because I don't have a smart alternator. That's the solar, and this is the output, and that's the input from the start battery. So all I'll need is a double Anderson to go into there, and another Anderson to go out to the other battery, and then that's all sweet. Already comes pre-wired for you. And the reason you don't need a lithium to connect the two wires to turn it to lithium is it has all the modes you can select on the front, which makes it way easier for actually wiring up your alternator, wiring up your BCDC charger. Then it's just got a little temp sensor on the back here. So basically I'll probably just mount this right here, literally right there. I don't need to see it, so that's fine. So I'll mount it here, then I can set the mode and I can have the wiring all coming in and looking all neat. So as you can see guys, I've just mounted the MIDI fuse here, and then this wire will go into there and they'll both go to here, and then I'll mount that Anderson plug there. And then this one doesn't need to be used because I don't have a solar panel as of now. And then this one will just have another Anderson coming off the other side, and it will go up to the battery itself. All right guys, so I've jumped ahead and wired this up a little bit. So as you can see, I got the MIDI fuse all wired up. Then I've got to tie them down and put some screws in that, and that'll be sitting good. Then I'm going to screw this Anderson plug here. Then I got the shunt for the battery monitor. So this is what you need to wire up for that battery monitor to work. So basically, this just goes to the battery and that goes to the body or whatever earth you're using. So I've got the earth here from the other battery, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is put that to that earth, to that side, and then everything else goes to that side, like the fridge and the inverter. And then that side here goes to the battery, and that's how you read the battery monitor itself. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna put all the earths to this, and including the fridge, and I'll probably run the inverter cable as well, potentially, or I'll save that till when I do the top. So as you guys can see, I've had to put another MIDI fuse in because I did an absolute stupid and fused the wrong side. So that one's gonna be double fused because I'm gonna put one in the engine bay still, because you want the fuse basically as close as you can to the battery, especially on that side because it's running through the whole car. So you want it to stop like running power through the whole car if anything goes wrong. So what I'm gonna do here is I got the fridge wire. As you can see, I'm gonna plug that into here. So that's gonna make my battery as well sit a little bit further back, which is all right. That's why I've had to do this now. So then this will run across here. I'll probably just tuck it under there. And then I want it to go, the earth has to go to the shunt, and then the battery wire will run up to here so it can connect to the battery. And then I've also got this, which is for the shunt. So this plugs into one of the two things here, and then it comes up and goes to the battery as well, so it can read what you're getting off that battery or how much amps you are using. So that'll also run with the battery wire too. So I'll get those hooked up now and run that to the shunt, and then it should be all sweet. As you can see, guys, I've just cut the top panel now, so I've got to put carpet all over that, and then I've got to use the factory holes on the XTM drawer to be able to mount this. So then I've just got to make up the two little pieces here. Instead of cutting it like to the length of the drawers and then making wings, I just cut it to one big thing. It's going to make it way better for the inverter as well, because the wiring can just tuck down there. So what I'm going to do is get a bit of cardboard and make up these pieces, then cut them out and carpet it all. All right, guys, as you can see, the carpet is now all on the top piece. It's a bit crinkled, so hopefully it straightens out a bit. But then now what I'm gonna do is I've just sat it in there and I marked out the holes for the drawer, so where it's gonna actually fit, like bolt down to. And then I sat the inverter on there and saw where that's gonna sit. So I was just gonna explain to you, I also made up the little side pieces, and that's where the thing is gonna sit. I just cut out a hole at the back for the battery monitor, and that'll sit in there nicely. So everything here is the same, but what I was gonna explain to you guys is the wiring size I use. So this is OBNS, and that's what I'm gonna use for the inverter, especially because it doesn't need to run long, but very fast, so it's gonna hold up good. But for the negative of this battery, I would use like I would use just what I use to run the dual battery, but I am using, like I'm running the inverter off the shunt. So what I'm gonna do is run the OBNS to the shunt, and then this is just from the front, like this is what I ran from all the way from the front, and that's just 8 BNS, so that's 8 BNS twin, which should be absolutely plenty. So then they're gonna come up here like that, and then I'll have the OBNS coming around and going to the shunt itself. So we have all the cables wired up now, so here's the two inverter ones. I decided to go to the seatbelt bolt instead, so it keeps the back looking a bit neater, but it all looks a little bit messy, which sucks, but it's because these wires are so long on these, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do now is put you guys back here, and I'm gonna slide the middle panel on. So what I'm gonna do now is slide this middle panel on, screw in the two little wing parts like this, then I can connect the battery monitor, put the inverter on, connect the inverter, and then connect the MIDI fuse up at the front, and we can see if it all works. So these are the two brackets I quickly made for the battery clamp sort of a thing. So I'm literally just gonna sit these in there basically like that and screw them down. All right, so I've just put some bolts in the top here, and I've got this now sitting here where I want it. I haven't screwed it in just yet, just seeing where I want it. But now, as you can see, I've got the back plugged in, so the battery monitor is turned on, and we'll set that up in a second. I'll just put some screws in this top section, like that, and one more over here. Beautiful. So now that's set as well, and we can do the other side in a second, but I was just gonna show you guys, this is where I'm mounting the inverter. So the inverter will sit nice and flush there, looking like that. exactly like that. So that'll be nice and sit there nice like that. And then I got the wires ready to go on the back. I'll quickly get that mounted in and we can move on to putting the wires on the back. All right, so I have everything sat in here now. I've even put the drawer in. As you can see, it's all held down pretty secure. I might need to put bolts through these side as well because it flops around a bit there. But yeah, it's all held in there pretty good. I actually forgot to tighten the bolt on this side and that side on the bottom, so I'm gonna have to take this back off in a second. But that's the inverter all hooked up now. As you can see, all I gotta do is cut out a little slot in this and put that back in the side and hook up the front, and then we can test it and set up the battery monitor. So now that that is all hooked up at the front, everything is all hooked up, I'm gonna figure out how to quickly set this battery monitor. So hold the set down for 2 seconds. Oh, hello. All right. Over voltage, don't need to worry about that. How do we go to the next one? No. 2 is under voltage. Yep. Over current, that's fine. Battery capacity, all right, now we go up to 200 amp hour. Set. All right, that's done. So now if I turn the fridge on, beautiful. Let's see if that reads. Yep. 0.4 amps. There we go. It's just bumped up to 3. Now it's at 2.5. There we go. So that is reading exactly how it should. I'll give you guys a little close up. So as you can see, that is reading perfectly. What we'll do now is I'll turn that off. As you can see, we are finished with the setup. It is looking absolutely awesome. Got the inverter, which all works there. I can turn on. Got the battery monitor. Got the fridge. And then got the XTM drawer. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's exactly how I wanted it to be. So if you guys are keen on seeing this in action and got a trip coming up soon, make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll catch you in the next video.